Hey everybody, Ken Hendricks from Home Instead Senior Care here, and thanks for coming back today. Today we're going to be talking about the best kind of medicine, one that I think everyone should have a prescription for. And I'll give you a prescription myself, even though I'm not a doctor, because the medicine we're talking about is laughter. Laughter as medicine is the motto of my guest today, Virginia Gonzales. Virginia is a stand-up comedian here in New Mexico. Recently, she was awarded the title the funniest comedian in New Mexico. She also joined us for 2019's very successful Don't Forget to Laugh Comedy Night, raising funds for the Alzheimer's Association. We're also very excited to make an announcement today about another upcoming event that we're working on together. So, Virginia, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Ken. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm so happy to have you on. So, funniest comedian in New Mexico. That's pretty amazing.
Isn't that exciting?
So, what does that mean to you?
Oh, man. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been a stand-up comedian for 20 years. I started just right before the year 2000. And I've been so blessed and had so much fun. And I've won a few awards in my life, but this one was against 20 other comedians, New Mexico comedians, lots of talent in this city. And I made it. And then I won. And I'm
So,
I'm I'm just so beside myself because it was such a great competition. It was put on by some local comedians. Scotty Goff was one of them. Um, I'm trying to remember all their names. I'm terrible sometimes. Keith Breckenridge hosted it. There was also Benny Martinez, the radio personality, was also one of them as well. And anyway, they voted on all of us. And when everything was said and done, I won $500 cash.
uh,
I'm going to get to do a recorded comedy show for TV. I was interviewed on New Mexico Living. I had a few gigs lined up before all of this started with the virus, but I'm confident it'll all come back. I'm not worried about it.
yeah.
In fact, it's actually given me a chance to write more comedy. So for me, winning this title is definitely a pinnacle of my career.
Well, that's so cool, and congratulations.
Thank you.
So, mentioning the virus, I know that right now is a crazy time for everyone with this.
It is.
It seems like everything that we can think of is on hold right now. How are you personally approaching this social distancing dynamic and keeping up your sense of humor?
um, it's the social distancing isn't too hard. I mean, it's common sense. It makes sense, and it protects me and everyone else. I think I think the mechanism of comedy helps me to deal with it more than anything else. Because even if I get frustrated, because I am human and I get frustrated with the situation that we're in, like anybody else. But I'll sit down and I'll turn that around and I'll start looking at it and say, okay, why is it frustrating me? And then I start examining it and starting thinking about, how could that be funny? And one of the things recently I was writing, and it dawned on me that it took a virus to let everyone in the world know what it feels like to be elderly, because you don't go anywhere, you don't do anything, you stay at home and you're in bed by 9. So I try to look at how to make those connections from something that potentially, I guess that's that adage that says turning lemonade from lemons, and
Yeah.
always having a better outlook. And I've written a lot of new stuff, not so much about COVID. I don't know that I find a lot of stuff funny. I do find a lot of things funny when I go to the grocery store, but I think we're still too in the early stages to make fun of some of the stuff I've seen.
Yeah, yeah. I totally
Yeah.
get it though, because I probably, well, I'm definitely the jokester when it comes to like the team at my office. I'm the one that's always trying to make people laugh, and I'm sure I probably cross lines here and there,
Yeah.
but they're good friends, so we can all do that together in good
Nice.
company. But
You
I,
are a funny man, though. I remember from last year, you busted us up a couple of times, and that's the thing with comedy. It is a very tight line you have to walk, and you can overstep bounds. And I always try to be very careful, but you're not going to make everybody happy when you're trying to make laugh. But you have to be very cognizant of who your audience is and what you're trying to accomplish, because it's not about making anyone feel bad or hurting anyone. It really is about bringing out what makes us all really who we are as people, and bringing Gabriel Iglesias says it real well. His motto is unity and laughter. It's
Yeah.
bringing us together and laughing and doing something good for our soul.
We need to be able to laugh at ourselves. I think that like we've got to be I think that like you said, I don't think that there's anything funny about this virus necessarily or about this pandemic, but I think that once things do the dust does settle a little bit, I think that comedians are going to be a godsend to us because they're going to help us see all of the funny ways that we acted during
Yeah,
this, and we're going to be able to, I think that's going to be a type of therapy to
I
be
think so
able to
too.
laugh at those things. Um, I mean, oftentimes for me, it doesn't take a virus and a pandemic and needing to stay inside. I can overreact about stuff any given day. But when I
Right.
can laugh about my overreactions, when I can laugh about just laugh at myself, I think that it really helps with letting go of some of the tension that these types of things bring us.
Right. And the good example, just to think of it, Ken, is think of Vietnam War. That was very politically volatile.
My goodness,
And
yeah,
who was one of the most famous comedians that came out of that was Bob Hope. He traveled with the USO tours, and he went and he entertained the troops, and he took Raquel Welch and all these beautiful women with him and entertained them, and he raised the morale of the soldiers when he went out and did this. So you're absolutely right. I think there is going to be an opportunity for us to heal through laughter when we can come out of this COVID situation as well. So I do agree with you.
and so I follow you on social media, and one of the things that I really, really like, I have to say I enjoy, is how you always keep it inspirational. And right now, during all of this stuff, especially during this stuff, being a voice of hope, is that something that just comes natural for you, or is it something that you really do intentionally?
I do it very intentionally. I grew up in a glass half empty. I always was told I couldn't, I wouldn't, I shouldn't, you should never, you never will. And um, as a result, I fight negativity tooth and nail. And I fight it internally as well, because remember, the voices that speak into your life are the voices that live with you till the day you die.
Yeah.
So it's how we deal with those voices in the end that really ultimately projects who we are as people. But my heart is always, like I said, I take a situation and it may frustrate me or whatever, and I try to turn it around and look at the other side. And so I was there are a couple of blogs I had posted lately. One of them was about rainbows. One of them was, I think I wrote about jolt. And it was about when you're jolted and you're woken up. And I felt like I was jolted that day. I was like, all of a sudden, this realization came to me. It wasn't a good thought, but it jolted me to reality. And I wanted to discover, well, what does that mean to me? What does that mean to us as people when you narrowly miss an accident, or how your heart pumps, and then after that all of a sudden you're awakened to, oh my gosh, I could have died, or this could have happened and that could have happened, where so often we get in a place where we are always thinking about worrying about what may never come
Yeah.
versus being grateful for what we have in the moment, because tomorrow isn't promised. And so I work very diligently to try to not just encourage myself, but be an encouragement to others, because it doesn't come naturally. We live in a very negative world. Things, are constantly coming at us, and then also dealing with our own internal demons, if you will, from our past, and having to grow up and being a kid who was teased. I think I shared this last year. I was a late bloomer. I didn't get on stage for the first time till I was 36, but had this
Yeah, I've heard that about you. Yeah.
desire to perform and to be funny and just to light up a room. And but I was always held back because I would listen to these voices that told me I couldn't and I shouldn't, and I was too loud, and I was these things. And now my heart's desire is that person sitting there who sees me on stage and says, wow, she's funny, or oh gosh, I'm too old, but look at her, how old she is, and she's doing what she loves. To inspire someone to say, you know what, I don't care what anyone else says. I have this desire. I want to go out and do it and go pursue it. And you know what? What's the worst thing that can happen? You fail. You figured out something you're not good at, so
Yeah.
you something else.
You get back up again, right?
Exactly.
I know that I probably speak for all the folks that follow you and that we're thankful for the person that you've become through all these
Thank you.
things and for the messages that you share. It's very inspiring to see.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So, with the event that we have coming up that we wanted to announce, we're going to be doing another Don't Forget to Laugh. Don't Forget to Laugh 2020. And that is scheduled for Wednesday, July 22nd at the Jean Cocteau Theater in Santa Fe. And we have Virginia Gonzales. We have Scotty Goff. We have Zach Abeta. The trio is coming back again this year to do another event. And we're doing this event, right, Virginia? We're calling this COVID or Shine, right? We're doing
Exactly. Exactly.
so we're doing this thing as people say rain or shine, we're doing this COVID or shine. So there's going to be an event either way. We're going to sell tickets as if we're going to be meeting at the theater, but if come July things are not all the way open yet and we can't gather for this event at the theater, we're going to do a special online event where ticket purchasers are going to receive an invite to a BYOB bash with the comedians online, and we're going to have a great time either way.
And I think it's a great idea, and I think it will work wonderfully if we have to go that route of obviously being in person is ideal for a comedian because I can
Yeah.
stand in front of the mirror and practice my bit and not get any feedback. That's not fun. The fun comes from the smiling faces in the audience and the laughter and the chest heaving and all of those things and the feedback that you get. But the cool thing is, as you had presented this, I was thinking, oh my gosh, how exciting to have all of our faces on here, all of us interacting, and we can still have a lot of fun. We can have discussions. There's so many different ways we could approach this, but the main thing I thought of was brilliant idea, Ken.
Oh,
Brilliant.
thank you.
Because everyone is at home right now dying for something to do. So why not buy a couple of tickets? You're going to have the tickets there sitting as your hope in the sunrise that you're going to get to go laugh and have a good time at. And I'm glad you said the theater name, Jean Cocteau. I've been calling it Jean Cousteau. But I'm a Chicana. What can I say? Anyway, so you'll have that to look forward to. But worst case scenario, if we can't get together in the same room, you're going to have your tickets. You're going to get to sit in your jammies at home and listen to three very talented people. And I'm telling you, Scotty Goff is a master at what he does. He's done it for years. He was a comedy club owner. I admire him. I can't even believe that as a comedian, I get to perform with him. I get starstruck. And then Zach Abeta, the up and coming, he's the youngster in New Mexico right now that's getting everybody's attention. He's so
He's a
knowledgeable.
hardworking guy.
He really
He's
is,
going
and
hard.
so
It's
much
awesome to see.
energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has to feel like an Oreo cookie between Scotty and I because we're in our 50s. But great idea. And so I just really hope that whoever sees this, that you buy tickets and share them with your friends and family. Because remember, this isn't about us as comedians. This really is about helping a cause and the Alzheimer's Association. And elderly and children are very near and dear to my heart because they're very near and dear to God's heart. So think of this as an opportunity to be a blessing and to be blessed.
And thank you for drawing attention to that. I know we mentioned it just in short earlier with regard to the last Don't Forget to Laugh event. But yeah, this is all the proceeds are going to go to the Alzheimer's Association to help with raising awareness, funding research, and providing programs for families that are living with the reality of Alzheimer's and dementia. So it's a very, very good cause. And so that's enough. The tickets are $10. So
Yeah.
like it's a very easy, a fairly easy donation to make regardless. And then we're going to make sure that every ticket purchaser has a really fun time, whether we're able to get together at the theater or we end up having to pivot to this COVID contingency plan,
Yeah.
the COVID or Shine plan. And so thank you so much, Virginia, for doing this.
My pleasure.
It's so wonderful to see you, and I really, really hope to be able to see you in person at the theater in July.
Me too. Thank you so much. Bye,
Bye-bye.
Ken.
For over 25 years, Home Instead has helped seniors stay home. Now, staying home isn't just staying in the place they love. it's staying safe. Home instead. To us, it's personal.